So this example is going to show how to use Java 8 or modern Java BiFunction lambdas to replace all the values of all the keys in a concurrent hash map. And then it's going to compare and contrast that Java 8 or modern Java way of doing things with a more conventional solution that uses Java 7 features and a for each loop, or Java features before Java 8, let's put it that way. So this example is kind of a fun one. I use this in a lot of my examples. Those of you who may be familiar with the Three Stooges, it was a vaudeville comedy act from many, many years ago, I think the 1930s and 40s. And there were three brothers who pretended they were really dumb. They were so clever that they made a lot of money pretending they were dumb. But we're going to make ourselves a stooge map here. And the stooge map is going to give Larry 100 points for his IQ, Curly 90, and Mo 110, because Mo was pretty smart, at least smarter than Mo and than Larry and Curly, if you believe the stooge antics. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come along here and use the replaceAll method on ConcurrentHashMap, which is also available on map for that matter. And for each key value pair, this is actually a BiFunction. For each key value pair in the map, we're going to subtract 50 from the value of each key value pair. So each value will be reduced by 50. And then we go ahead and we print the contents of the map out. So that's a really cool way of doing things. I think you'll agree it's very concise. Here's kind of the old school way of doing the same thing, where we would use the entry set method on a map to get an entry for each of the elements. So it returns a set and you get back an entry for each element in the set. And the entry is a string to integer mapping. And then for each entry, we go ahead and we set the entry's value to be the current value of the entry minus 50. And I think you'll agree with me that this code is not only more verbose than this code, but it also has the limitation where this code here, the Java 7 style approach, is not thread safe. So if you have multiple threads that are accessing and manipulating the map at the same time, chaos and insanity will break out. Whereas in this case, replaceAll magically does a synchronization behind the scenes. And so all those operations are done in a way that will be thread safe using a weakly ordered model of thread safety, which is perfectly fine for what we're doing here. So a really cool little example that just once again illustrates the use of, in this case, a BiFunction in order to be able to replace all the values of the keys, as opposed to having to do it through a loop and more explicit programming.